No shirt, no shoes, no service. No, no, no order, some chaos, and all fun. JockWave.
Cost you your tone, Commander. I'm a fair guy, but this heat is making me absolutely crazy.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40! I ain't scared of you. Or who we thought they were. And we let them go. You can't have my cornbread, that's for damn sure. If you try to take my cornbread, part 2 of my killing spree gonna begin up in here on your ass right now. Nigga, my cornbread nigga taste out your mouth.
Greetings and salutations. You know who it is. It's me, the King, David B., the sports guy who talks about a lot more than just sports. And this is the home of freestyle podcasting. No scripts, no prompts, no text, just headlines and conversation. Well, I'd like to call it conversation or discussion, but really I'm discussing and conversing with myself. I would like to say that some of my best conversations have been with myself. However, I would love to have the likes of, some of the celebrity world on my show. If you know anybody, please give them my number or please tell them to call in. Give them my email. Send them to my fan page. What do you do with celebrities? You butter them up or something? What do you do with celebrities? I think people feel like that's what you have to do, like butter them up. And for real, I want to talk to some celebrities. These are the people who have influence in society. It's not politicians necessarily. It's not activists necessarily. Celebrities are now activists and politicians. And celebrities' words carry a lot of weight, and in a lot of parts of this country, and a lot of parts of this world. Definitely as it relates to Black people, because all we have really are celebrities. I'm being for real honest about that. It seems that that's what we have. We have as our, what we call it, main people, as the people we look up to. I'm sorry, I'm swallowing. I need something to drink. But as the people we look up to, we have a lot of celebrities. A lot of basketball players and football players, sports stars. We have actors and actresses that we don't know who the Black judges. Outside of Judge Mathis, and maybe Judge Joe Brown, like I said, once again, who are on TV, Maybelline and, Lynn Toler, who, like I said, all these people are on TV. We don't know about the Black prosecutors in the country. We don't know about the Black defense attorneys. We don't really know. We didn't know Johnny Cochran until we seen him on the OJ trial. So, there's people who knew of Johnny Cochran in certain, like I said, certain circles that you knew. You had to read about and find out who these people were. But we don't really know who our intelligence community is in the Black community. We don't know them outside of TV. And which is funny because, like I said, while in slavery days, Black people it was illegal at one point in time for Black people to know how to read and write. And if you fast forward to today, if you think that that's 500 years ago, 400 years ago, 300 years ago, you fast forward to today where Black people still don't do a lot of reading. And I'm not saying everyone. That's what people go, well, I read. Clearly, I'm not talking to you. I have this discussion with my children sometimes. They're like, well, If I say something that, I'm talking to all my kids at the same time, yes, I have 6 kids and one on the way. If I'm talking to all my kids at the same time, and I'm saying you guys, you go, you do this, and I'm speaking in a general setting because I'm speaking on different kids doing different things at different times. And then one of them says, "Well, I didn't do that," and it's like, well, clearly I'm not talking about you about that situation. That's what you have to know. It's like, so if you're a black person who reads all the time, I'm not talking about you. But there are a number of black people who don't read outside. I'm talking about outside of school, outside of homework, outside of schoolwork. I'm talking about reading for leisure, reading the Wall Street Journal, reading uh, financial magazines, reading what was it? Is it like a doctor's journal? Reading the lawyer quarterly or whatever it's called. Reading, you understand what I'm saying? Just reading newspapers. I don't know, even though that's old concept because you have the internet now, but reading things, reading the internet, and I guess this is how people get their news is through, Google News. I get my news through Google News and Fox News and CNN, and because I read every Washington Post, Huffington Post. I read, whatever I, whatever's there. But I read it off the internet most of the time because I don't get all these things sent to my house. But I would like to have something like Black Enterprise or, I used to read Ebony, the articles in Ebony. I used to read the articles in Essence. I follow them on Instagram, but I don't like. My personal opinion is that I have a problem with fluff, and I think that there's a lot of fluff when it comes to magazines. And I used to read magazines, like not just the black magazines. I read, the quote unquote white magazines too, which are People in Time, and you say, well, Time is like a world magazine, well, whatever you want to call it, but People in Time, and I'm talking about like the celebrity mags like OK and the gossip magazines, stuff like that, GQ. What else? People is probably the most popular one out of those. Us Weekly, stuff like that. So I used to read all those, read these magazines and different articles in these magazines, just to see what, find what interests me. But like I said, you have a lot of people who don't, a lot of us black people don't read for leisure. We don't read to find out information. We allow information to be given to us or filtered down to us through different channels. We'll watch TV. We'll get the news from Facebook. We'll get the news from Instagram. We'll get the news from the pastor at church or the people at church. We'll get the news from different sources, but we won't go and read it or research it ourselves. We'll be given it, and then at times we wonder why we are kind of not understanding what's going on, or why we have a hard time getting through certain things or getting to certain things, because the vast majority of, I won't say the majority, but I'm saying the vast majority of people who are receiving information are receiving it through channels other than themselves. You have to be willing to read. Like I said, if you read something, you're going to get a different, there's a different way of looking at it when you read it yourself than it is in receiving it from somebody else. This is JockWave, King David B. But how did I get to this point talking about this right now? Well, I was on Instagram this morning and I seen a number of juicy, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Smolier, Juicy Smolier. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Sounds kind of French. But he was attacked. And like I said, when I was reading the reports yesterday, I seen like a couple different reports. One report said he was attacked because they pretty much just keyed on the fact that he was, homosexual. Another report keyed on the fact that he was black. And then another one brought them both together and said, oh, they did it because, it happened because he was black and homosexual. So, I hope that he's doing okay. I hope that there's no. I realize that there's going to be some mental and emotional effects lasting in there. And there has to be. That's something that you don't just brush off right away. There's going to be some mental and emotional effects to that. But there also, I'm hoping that at least at this point in time, that there's no physical issue. He doesn't have any physical issues that are going to carry through. That he's going to be okay physically. Like I said, that's something that you're going to have to deal with mentally and emotionally and even spiritually, if you are that spiritual being. Excuse me, that I think that a lot of us claim to be, but if you do have that case, if you're able to pray to God, if you believe in God, which means you believe in Jesus, which means you believe in all that the Word of God says, that's what makes you the spiritual being. But I hope my prayers are going out to him, and I hope that he is doing well, and I pray that he gets over it. I pray that he comes to the Lord. I'm not sure if he's a child of God. I probably have other things to say about that one, as far as, but I pray that he comes to the Lord, and that I pray that the Lord speaks to his heart. But bless him. And I hope everything's okay. I hope he's okay. And nobody deserves. Like I said, that's the whole thing that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this up, because nobody deserves to be beat. I don't care what lifestyle they have. Everybody deserves to be treated fair. I believe that. I'm a firm believer in that. Everyone deserves to be treated fair. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle, but I do have to agree with just being a basic human being. I think that people should have fair treatment across the board. Now, when I say fair treatment, that means fair. Like I'm saying that everybody who has, my rights shouldn't be any better than your rights, or I'm not any better than you in that sense. I don't regard myself as better than because I don't agree with, your politics, or I don't agree with your lifestyle, or I don't agree with, you're a fan of the Dallas Cowboys. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make me look at you in a different way. Other than I just don't agree with you. Some things are simple and basic. Other things are, more controversial. But, other things are, you say are trivial. They're just, an opinion-based thing. And other things, are political. Other things are, I say, more controversial than others. And that's all it is. It shouldn't be a big deal, but we should be able to respect each other. The idea or the saying goes, you give respect to get respect. I've never agreed with that. I believe you give respect because it's the right thing to do. Like, everybody deserves respect. You don't have to get respect to give respect. I don't believe that. I think that's a false accusation, or what accusation is the wrong term. I believe that's a false acclamation. I think that's the right word. False acclamation is you give respect to get respect. No. You give respect because it's the right thing to do. Period. I don't have and anybody that says no, you got to give respect to get it. Like no, you give respect because it's right. Everybody deserves respect. Everybody. If I have to wait for you to give me respect to get some, then we wouldn't be respecting anybody. That's the truth. Why would I respect somebody that I don't know you? Why would I respect you then? That idea that you have to give respect to get it is a moot point. That is a moot point. It's a point that's pointless. It's a pointless point. Because if I have to wait for you to give me respect, then I never have to give it. That's how that works. Because how do you give respect? Okay. How does a stranger give respect? You understand? So that's kind of how I look at that. Like, no, you give respect because it's the right thing. Not because somebody has respected you, but because you would like their respect. You would like everybody to be treated the same. Therefore, you treat everybody else the same. That just makes sense to me. How about to you? You tell me. If I'm wrong about that, then feel free to let me know. This is JockWave. I am King David B. This is the home of freestyle podcasting. But we're talking about respect. We're talking about Jussie Smollett. We're talking about some racial issues. My son is crying in the background. I have to wash my hands. Why? Because I just used the bathroom. I'm going to flush the toilet. I'm telling you, this is freestyle podcasting, man. We just do things around here. Oh, just in case you know, I was playing. Like, you're not really flushing it. That's a sound bite. Like, no, we don't do sound bites like that. Not at this point in time. But one thing that I do know. Is I got to get my son out of this thing. Because I think he's done listening to the door. And once he hears me talk, that's pretty much it. Oh, there goes this old milk in here. Oh, okay. We did it. Okay, buddy. What you feeling? I'm going to lose listeners, I'm going to lose people listening to me. They're going to be like, this dude is crazy. Why on earth would he be watching? Come on, buddy. Why on earth would he be dealing with his son and on a podcast? Nobody's going to listen to that garbage. Well, okay. If I lost you, I lost you. If I didn't, I didn't. I'm still going to repeat or still say what I got to say. Just because I'm real. And it's real like that. That's how we do it around here. Oh, praise God. So, respect is not earned. Respect is just given. You earn trust, but you don't earn respect. You give respect. And then because you want to receive it in return. So you don't give respect to get respect. You give respect with the desire that you're going to get it, that you will receive it. You're hoping that people will receive you that same way. But trust is something that that's something that you earn. People have to earn your trust because, like I said, once again, we're all strangers when we first meet each other. So the only way you can trust somebody is by saying, oh yeah, okay, you can trust me because you can trust somebody once they've been put through some tests or put through some situations. I wouldn't even say tests, but put through some situations that gave you a full view of their character, and now you can either trust them or not trust them. Sound about right to you? Yeah, about right to me too. What do you think, buddy? Oh, okay. See, he's full of words until I, put the microphone in his hand. That's right. So, we've been inundated with that. That was a big thing. The government was just shut back up. It went from the shutdown, and now it just opened up for about 3 weeks. I think they might have come to some type of solution with the budget or something like that. But I know it's opened up at least until February 15th, which is the day after Valentine's Day, which I think it's interesting. But what's up, man? It's open up to February 15th. That we know, and that it can probably. I think they're talking about making an amendment or something so that the government doesn't shut down. If what I read was correct, the idea is that they don't want to. It shouldn't have shut down. And you know what? This is the thing. Yes, sir. This is the thing. You have government employees that are still trying to get paid, getting their back pay, from when the government was shut down. Like, people are still trying to get paid from the government being shut down. And I'm guessing that there's senators that are blocking people's ability, or people's blocking the attempt that people are trying to get paid for being off of work for 3 weeks. Was it 4 weeks? Wait, it was 35 days. That's a long time. Because I think they got to check. I think they got to check at the beginning somewhere, and then somewhere, they got to check at the beginning, but then they got to check at the beginning, and then they got, and then they pretty much were just sitting at home, or some of them were at work, not getting paid. So they wasted the gas, they wasted the time, they wasted their efforts for, I say waste, but they're putting their time, they're putting in time and effort and still putting in their blood, sweat, and tears, and there's no payment because, the government is shut down, which sounds crazy to me. But you got people still trying to get paid, and there's people standing in their way. I believe senators who are standing in the way of these federal workers desiring their paychecks or desiring their back pay. Explain to me why they have to fight to get that. It sounds a little bit ridiculous to me. This is JockWave. Every time I say this is JockWave, I say, who am I? I am nobody right now. I was watching Friday Night Lights, the TV show yesterday. Actually, I've been watching it kind of all week for the last week, and first season, and that's what Matt Saracen said when Jason Street went down. He was, he stepped in for him and he won a game. He was like, "If you're, who are you?" Because he said Jason Street would be the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He said, "Well, he's the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Who are you?" You're like, "That's right. Who am I?" But right now, as we say, the voices of reason or the voices of opinion or the voice period, you'd be like, well, I don't know who the heck King David B is, so why would I be listening to this man when he is odd? He takes, very strange pauses, has very strange pauses on his show. He talks to his son, who's a baby. He uses the bathroom in the middle of his show. He doesn't have it all together. You see, well, I would say this. I'm still King David B. And you still, no, doesn't matter. I'm still King David B. And right now, you might not know me, but next week, you might know me. If it's your first time hearing me, guess what? Now you know who I be. Thank you very much. No, you're too kind. We move on. I digress. No, I'm not really digressing. But, like I said, the idea that the government can withhold these workers' pay is even more revealing to me about, or I should say, how the government has, American government has gotten off track with what they originally, I'm guessing what their original ideas were. We might be a capitalist society, which means that America is set up for people to own their own businesses. They're not set up to be ruled. In a sense, we're not set up to be ruled over. That's what the founding fathers really were fighting against, were the idea that we were going to be ruled over by anybody. The people that we elect in office we're still supposed to be governed by as a government by the people and for the people. So even though these elected officials are there, they're not rulers. They're there in place of the people. And I think sometimes we have fallen short of the full understanding of what that means of being, what's up, man? About being a government by the people and for the people. We have fallen short of understanding that these elected officials, which means they were put in office, these elected officials are actually just that, elected officials. They're not kings, they're not princes, they're not what else? They're not royalty. The weight that they hold, I guess there's a legal side of that, of their power, but their power really is orchestrated by the people. So if we wanted to take somebody out of power, we could do that. That's how the government is really set up. The president of the United States doesn't even have as much power as he thinks he has. He only has as much as the people give him. That's the real idea of the Constitution. That's the real idea of the Founding Fathers, of the Bill of Rights, of the Declaration of Independence. And this is what happens when you have your phone on and it is not who you want to call. You know who I'd like to call? Somebody give 50 my number real quick and then tell him to call me in. I'd like to talk to 50 Cent. I just think he'd be an interesting guy to talk to. I don't know what I would ask, though. That's the thing. I don't know what I would ask. I don't really know what I would ask any celebrity, other than, just basic questions like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? What you got going on this week? People ask these in-depth questions like, how can you, or what do you, about their belief systems and things like that. I like to get into certain things, but the things I probably want to get into, people don't want to talk about. I think what I want to ask is what most celebrities don't want to talk about. Like, I want to ask you questions about your personal life, probably. If I could ask a question, I probably would ask about your actual personal life, not the personal life that you want people to see. So, and I realize that people are on Instagram, but still on Instagram and Facebook or Twitter, it's still a persona that you're portraying. For the most part, some of us who are celebrities, some of us, I'll put myself in there. Some of us who are celebrities, some of us who are celebrities. And I'm saying we're all people. That's why I say us. Some of us who are celebrities are who we are all the time. Whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on Twitter, whether you're on Facebook, you're just going to be yourself. You're not trumping up some character that you want to be. You're actually being whoever you are, and that's what people see. So when they meet you, and when somebody meets you and they talk to you, they're like, "Oh yeah, okay, that's who I thought." And definitely in this day and age, where a lot of things there's a lot of spin put on everything, and I like how Dave Chappelle put it. That's where I got it from. There's in this day and age where everybody has their own can put their own spin on everything through these media sites, social media sites. You say mainstream media sites. So everybody can put a spin on, everybody can make a video. They can doctor the video. They can change words. They can add sound bites. They can add music. So everybody can kind of create their own story through all of these different avenues, cameras and music. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff that happens. Hollywood captures the eyes and the minds and our hearts and all of our imaginations when they put together these movies. Like I said, what do they have? Music, action, good words. So it's almost hypnotizing. And that's what they do with commercials. That's what they do with I say music, just like songs. They do that with what else do they do it with? I'm just saying Hollywood has captured our minds. The film industry. I'm not just saying film as movies, as Hollywood or whoever. I'm saying film as in commercials. They capture our minds too. That's the truth. They capture our minds and our hearts too. That's why we get up and want to go buy food or go buy the next car or want to go buy certain things because we're seeing it on screen and it looks so good and it sounds so good and we can almost taste the food that's on the screen. So that idea that I lost my train of thought right there because I'm trying to deal with my son right now. But the idea that we can all be celebrities. We're all like I said, this is all about being a country ran by the people and for the people. That's what I was going back to, is the idea that this is a country ran by us. And we can all be that leader. We can all be that. So celebrity is just kind of something that we have doctored. We have made into something. We have pushed these ideas. We make celebrities. The people make celebrities. It's pretty much how that works. We make our own celebrities. Some people are big in your eyes. Some people are not. I've never been one that's starstruck. However, because I feel like I should be, we say in the, mingling with these people. And I feel like I kind of feel like I should be mingling with if these people are like the number ones. I feel like I should be mingling with the number ones. If that's how, for real, I feel like I should be mingling with people, period. But I definitely feel like I should be mingling with the number ones if there's anybody called number ones. So why? Because I'm the king. That's who I am. The king definitely should be mingling with the number ones. He said, well, there's other people who feel like they're kings. Well, that's fine. They can be kings too. But realize something, that you got to have that desire, that passion inside of you. So what I'm saying is that as I'm moving on from one area to another, somebody called up 50 Cent, and I would like to talk to him. I would like to talk to Snoop. I think I would want to talk to T.I., but I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want to talk to T.I., but I think I do. He seems like a really cool guy. I don't know if he liked me, but because I know this, and to a lot of famous, can I call them thugs? To a lot of famous thugs, I would be corny. And to a lot of unfamous thugs, I might be corny. I know that I'm a corny guy. I can be. I don't have a problem with that. But here's the thing. I own it. That's what it is I own who I am. I'm okay with that. And I'm still cool to myself, which makes me cool to other people. Because it's really just doing you. The idea that I have to be this type of person or this type of, I got to be a thug like this. You know, I got to do this. I got to wear my pants like this. I got to wear my shirt like this. Like, no, I wear it however I want to. I'll rock things however I want to rock. I don't have to dress like that. I don't have to talk like you. I don't have to do that. I'm going to be me, and either you like me or you don't. But that's why I say I should be here talking to people who affect society, because I feel like I affect society as well. And while I'm on a small scale, extremely small scale, I'm talking about one viewer or one listener, I still have the desire to affect on a larger scale. And while I got a late start, I still plan on affecting the world at a larger scale. And I intend on doing that. And like I said, I want to talk to those who influence people. And if I can talk to those who influence people, means that I'll have an opportunity to influence the influencers. You understand what I'm saying? And in turn, maybe I will influence the influencers to become better influencers and to help more people. I get the whole philanthropy thing, and a lot of celebrities do that. They give money. They create charities. They nonprofits and things like that. And it's a great thing. It's fantastic. I'm a fan of that. But like I said, I feel like I should be talking to these people because some of the questions that I think I have will actually help others. Versus, I believe some of the questions that are done, some of them, not all interviewers, but some of the interviewers do questions. Like I said, it's all fluff. It's not really. It's just for. It's mostly for the publicity of the celebrity. That's what you're doing it for. You're doing it to. What is this? You're doing it to gain something. We all are. No, buddy.
Good morning. Come return the book I borrowed.
Yes, okay. So, sometimes I almost forget that I was on here. And this is why I try to wait for him to go to sleep, or I wait for him to, I try to start my show before my son wakes up. I work in the evenings. My wife works during the day, and that's how we roll right now. And I'm trying to do, keep him here until, for a moment, until he goes back to daycare, because he was there once, but then, but either way it goes. So that's why, my show is how it is right now. And yes, you might hear Beauty and the Beast in the background, but that's one of my favorite shows, so I put it on for him. When I was growing up, I like Beauty and the Beast. I think it's a good story. Yeah, don't hate me. Don't judge me. I don't care. You can judge me if you want to, but I'm still right. What else? What else is there to talk about today? Let's see. The Super Bowl is going on. There's a lot of celebrities down here in Atlanta, and I intend on getting out and haven't yet this week. I'll be starting today, going out and giving people rides, picking up all the people, all the celebrities. I'm sure most of the higher end celebrities have cars and entourages with cars. Personally, I'll be rolling, doing my Uber thing. That's what we do. And Uber doesn't sponsor me, doesn't give me any money to say that. I'm actually a driver for Uber. So that's what I do as my employment. I'm a businessman. So, but I enjoy it. That's one thing. It gives me an opportunity to talk to people also. And I get to interview. Basically, I get to do my interviews on strangers. So I do know that I can interview people very well, judging by how I talk to people in my Uber car. You understand? So this is JockWave. You're on with King David. Look, don't get mad at me. But I am perfecting my craft every night that I work. Every time I go to work, I perfect my craft in talking to people, asking them, in a sense, questions, warming them up with little bitty questions until I can get to a more personal question. And I always throw a good personal question in there to have them think like, I never thought about that. And I don't care who you are. I've had doctors, I've had lawyers, I've had Atlanta Hawks players, I've had musicians at a high scale and a low scale. And I'm talking about, I've had lawyers at a high scale and low scale. I've had, pastors. So I've had bishops in my car. So understand, and I've also had just the considered lay member or the church member in my car. So like I said, I've talked to many people, and this is why I say I believe I can talk to the celebrity. And that's what I think. Like I said, this is what JockWave is all about. Originally, JockWave was all about talking about everything. Like there was no stone to be left unturned. It was, I'm going to talk about sports, of course, because I'm a sports guy who talks about a lot more than just sports. So I'm going to talk about sports, but I'm also going to talk about music, and I'm going to talk about movies. I'm going to talk about other parts of entertainment because I like that stuff. I'm going to talk about everything I like. I'm going to talk about religion. I'm going to talk about, or the lack thereof. I'm going to talk about food and lifestyle. And I wish I had my soundbite still from the barbershop when he's like, the barber used to be a style coach, whatever, just all around general, hustler or pimp or whatever you call it. But I wish I had that soundbite because that's pretty much what JockWave always set out to be. Like, there's no specific. I know you got to have a specific channel or something specific that you're an expert in. And I say, well, I think I'm a little bit of an expert in everything. Now, sports is my thing. I can talk about sports all day long. Yes. However, I'm a little bit of an expert in everything. Yeah, that's what I say. Like I if you give me a topic, I don't have to read much about it to figure it out because I'm a little bit of an expert in everything. Is that tooting my own horn? Yes, that's fine. But I have to believe in myself, or else nobody else will. And you have to believe in you, or else nobody else will. And that's my little tidbit of inspiration here on JockWave. I appreciate you joining me for this lovely 45-minute segment that we like to call the JockWave Hour. I want you to come back and join me later as I get into more of the issues and fun things that are in this day and age and plaguing our society, and the things that we're just going to do for fun. Right? Okay, come back and join me. I love you. God loves you. And that's what counts, right? You know who it is. King David B. It's JockWave. I'm out.